Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. I'm Linda Karnauskas, and I want to thank you for joining us on this Friday, January 13th. We have a fun and informative show for you today. First, we'll be visiting with Matt Kottke and Ann Draeger from Owatonna Forward, and we're going to hear all about their plans and what they have in progress there. And then on our second segment of the show, we will be at Shattuck-St. Mary, and we'll interview Abigail Hansen, who's a harpist. So you'll want to stay tuned for today's program. Today is Friday, and we recognize our sponsors on Friday. The Owatonna Today Show thanks the following sponsors of this program. Our premier sponsors are City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, and Owatonna Public Utilities. Our primary sponsors are Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Anytime Fitness, Fairway Foods, Little Theater of Owatonna, and the Owatonna Foundation. Our interlude sponsors are Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Cedar Valley Services, Glenn Mager and Michael Mager of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and Medford Funeral Home. Carlson Branstead and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care, Owatonna Area Business Development Center, Steele County Historical Society, and Steele County Transitional Housing. The Third Hand Video Productions, Tri-M Graphics, and TPS Insurance. And we hope you'll support these wonderful Owatonna businesses that support the Owatonna Today Show. And please say thanks to them when you see them out and about. The Owatonna Today Show is able to continue because of their sponsorship. And we are always looking for more sponsors of the show. So if you are a business and would like more information about becoming a sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show, please contact Leanne Alt, our producer, at 507-390-5751. Leanne would love to hear from you. Well, we will take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with Owatonna Forward, so please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
If clothing catches fire, stop, drop, and roll. If your clothes catch on fire, do not panic and run. This only fans the fire. Stop where you are, drop to the ground, and roll over and over to smother the flames. Cover your face with your hands to protect your eyes and your throat and lungs from the burns. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, I'm Betsy Linger from the Owatonna Foundation. Your generosity has made Owatonna a better place to live by benefiting our community, the arts, recreation, and education. Please consider a donation today. The Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And I'm here visiting with Matt Kottke and Ann Draeger from Owatonna Forward. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having us.
Can you believe we're into the 13th of January already?
I know.
Absolutely.
It's going quick already.
It's like, have a happy new year. You're not kidding. It goes,
Yeah.
Exactly. So why don't you share a little bit about yourself, Ann, with our public here, and tell them a little bit about what you do when you're not with the Owatonna Forward Group and with. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Owatonna, and I am on the Owatonna Forward team. I'm also the Director of Patient Care at Owatonna Hospital. I've worked at the hospital for 30 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. In a variety of roles, both as a staff nurse and a nurse leader. So
Okay, great.
my husband and I, Greg, we've lived in town off and on for most of our lives. So.
And Mr. Kottke, would you share about yourself, please?
Again, like Ann, a lifelong resident of Owatonna. Worked for about 30 years out at Truth Hardware in their marketing department. Last 2 or 3 years I've been working downtown Owatonna at our family jewelry store, which is approaching 100 years of being in the same location, downtown Owatonna.
Wow.
And
great.
Besides that, as with Ann, get involved in a lot of community projects and really enjoy that.
All right. Well, you're here on behalf of Owatonna Forward.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matt, I'll let you take the reins. What is Owatonna Forward? How did it get started? And how is it compiled? Okay,
Owatonna Forward, it's kind of an interesting dynamics. We started Owatonna Forward, and as it is, back when the school bond group was school bond was being discussed. And a group of us got together and realized that we really needed more community input and outreach to get that thing accomplished. The information that the school district provided was wonderful. However, we felt that there was an opportunity for us to team up with them and get the message out further, because we really believed it was an important thing to do. So we kind of called ourselves Owatonna Forward, because we wanted to talk about moving Owatonna forward. The bond was very successful, passed, and our group kind of sat back and goes, what are we going to do now? This was, it was a lot of work, a lot of fun, but at the same time we realized that we had made some nice inroads, some nice connections, developed some nice communication tools to share messages. And so we looked at what can we do next. And this idea of getting a group of people together to help identify projects, programs, goals for our community kind of came out of that. And so we developed a group that worked to identify stewards, as we call them, throughout the community, people who are connected culturally, socially, economically. They all have different areas that they're good at. They've got a lot of feelers out there.
How many stewards are on the?
We ended up with about 25 stewards.
Good representation.
Yeah, and it really is a good representation. They came from all over the community, whether they be in the schools, or medical,
all walks of life, really. Farming.
Everything.
Presidents, teachers.
And then who leads them? Who's the person that runs the getting together?
Yeah,
and the
we hired a consultant who has been very successful in doing this in other communities. He actually comes out of Bemidji, and he has done similar type programs as what we call Owatonna Forward in other communities. Mankato has one, Albert Lee has one, and they've been very successful in helping to form what the community wants, gather the input, and then work on projects and plans to accomplish those goals.
So is there an Owatonna person specifically that's like director or manager?
Nothing like that. No, we're not.
Work as a team?
It's really grassroots.
It's really grassroots. That's exactly right.
Wow. So people, whatever the projects are, or however the 25 disperse their interest, they work for what it is they want, their passion is, more or
well,
less?
it's truly what the Owatonna community wants, because as Ann will tell you, one of the keys to this whole project and the success of it is gathering input from the community.
Which brings me to you, Ann, of course. You're a steward, hard at work.
Hard at work right now, actually, very hard at work.
And so tell us about what's going on right now with Owatonna Forward.
Sure. So the stewards gathered in September, and we really didn't spend a terrific amount of time sort of resting back on our laurels, I would say. There is a formula for how this works really well. Our consultant was able to help us. There was a small grant through the Blandin Foundation that really helped just get a bit of seed money for just communication and marketing tools. But anyway, we quickly divided out into 4 groups. So, and it's all about gathering up information. So the first 2 groups really are out there. I would say they're looking for any data that they can find that already exists. So, for example, is there white papers? Is there reports out about Owatonna? How do we compare to other communities in both what we have as community resources or any other information that exists? So they're kind of researching, if you'd have it, Owatonna. The other group, I think, is really challenged. They are looking for kind of getting a comprehensive pool of really what are all the assets. We know this is a great community with a lot of wonderful assets. So they're kind of drawing up a full listing of that. But the 2 groups that are hardest at work right now are the ones that are trying to solicit feedback, input from the community. So those are called the the community input team. That's the one that I happen to be on. And I love the name of this other team. It's the Buzz team. So they're the ones getting the buzz out there about what this is really all about, and getting people the information so that they engage with the group that I'm part of.
So in other words, the Buzz Committee would be out there saying, you've got an idea about our city, we want to hear all about it.
Right.
They have a way you want to improve it.
Exactly.
And is this a way also for those that might step forward with their ideas, is to maybe get them to become invested
Sure.
in Owatonna and
Yeah.
become a part?
Yeah,
helping?
and there's different types of groups. I mean, recently there was a rural community got together and discussed their thoughts, concerns, goals for this area. I know that downtown businesses are another group that's going to be coming together. And I think it's really important to note that there is not a project on the table. Owatonna Forward is a blank slate right now. We want to know what people want for this town, because it's truly going to be about our Owatonna. What do we want for this community? Not any special group that says we want to build this or we want a program for that. We need to work together collaboratively and come up with what's best for everyone.
So in these groups that you had talked about, the one that's out there and they're trying to get people involved with feedback, how are they doing that? Is there going to be town meetings? What's coming up?
Oh, there's a tremendous list of ways that we're trying to connect. So it's everything from, Matt mentioned, community forums. So and there's been 4 or 5 of those that have already taken place. We took advantage of the college kids being home, and so we gathered up a group of them. What's their vision? We also had one for people who are in the ag community, not just farmers, but other ag businesses. We gathered, last week we gathered leaders from organizations that have 200 or more employees. And so, but I think the really exciting ones are the ones that are yet to come, which are just the open community forums. Come and tell us what you think our strengths are and what your vision is for Owatonna moving forward.
And it doesn't matter if you're young marrieds or senior citizens or empty
absolutely.
nesters. We want
Yeah.
all those people too, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's about all of Owatonna.
Because we all make up Owatonna.
Exactly.
And what's the best way if somebody's interested in giving some feedback? What's the best way they could do that?
Sure, it's to check on our face page. Right now, that's the very best on Facebook, and that is Owatonna Forward. Just plug in the words, and you will get to our Facebook page, and it's a great resource.
Great. Thank you for all you do for
Thank you.
Owatonna and keeping it moving
Thank you.
forward.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We will take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. So please stay with us.
Hi, my name is Ryan Gillespie with Bremer Bank Mortgage. By trusting your home loan needs to Bremer Bank, you are guaranteed a personalized, straightforward, and honest experience from application to closing. We look forward to guiding you through your next home purchase or refinance.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Since 1988, the Owatonna Area Business Development Center has been the part of the success of many area businesses. The center leases office space and manufacturing space and offers on-site business consulting. The Owatonna Area Business Development Center is in business to help your business be a success.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
I'm Dan Branstead of Carlson Branstead & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. I am here with Abigail Hansen. Hello, Abigail. Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show.
Thank you.
We are here in the auditorium here at Shattuck-St. Mary's School. And Abigail, what year are you here at Shattuck-St. Mary's?
I am a senior.
You are a senior. However, this is actually your first formal year of school, is it not?
It is. Well, I would say, I mean, I've been going to school for the rest of my
institution.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was homeschooled for the previous 11 years of my life, and then this past year I transitioned to coming here to Shattuck-St. Mary's.
Okay, and we'll get into that for a minute. If you notice at the beginning, I said to Abigail, welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, because this is actually Abigail's third appearance on the show since the past 10 years.
Yep.
Can we say? And Abigail is holding a CD, which was the reason why she was on the show the first time. Tell us about this CD, Abigail.
Well, I kind of described this CD as being the first big risk that I took. And when I was 10 years old, I decided that I wanted to make a harp CD and give all the proceeds to the Salvation Army. And that was definitely an adventure, and it made me expand my horizons a little bit, and it gave me practice in performing, and it's shaped who I am today.
Okay. So let's go back to the very beginning. When did you first start playing a musical instrument?
I played piano first, and I started playing when I was 4. And we had a really hard time finding a piano teacher who would teach a 4-year-old, just because that's really young. And I just had this drive, and I really, really wanted to play the piano. And so once we finally found that teacher, I just fell in love with music, and I couldn't stop practicing. And to this day, my parents have never had to ask me to practice. And then after I played piano for 3 years, I saw my first harp in person. And I think whether everyone ends up playing the harp or not, I think that everyone remembers the first time that they saw a harp in person. And I think that that's a really special thing. But for me, I decided to act on that, and I fell in love with the instrument, and I wanted to learn how to play it. So a friend of mine had played the harp for about 6 months, and then when she was done, I wanted to pick it up. And I started taking lessons with Eleanor Nemisto 11 years ago, and I haven't stopped since. And then this year when I transitioned to Shattuck, I started with Kathy Kienzle, who is the principal harpist at the Minnesota Orchestra, and now she's my teacher.
Oh my gosh, that is very impressive. So think back to when you first saw the harp. What was it about it that really captivated you?
I think that it was the harp's uniqueness. I loved how it wasn't like any other instrument. And a joke that I kind of have is that a harp is a piano outside of its coffin. So
good point.
I think that I fell in love with just the sound and the richness. And I thought that violins were too squeaky. You know, a 7-year-old, I did not want to play the violin. And I thought that all the other orchestral instruments were just too normal. And so when I saw the harp, I just knew that that was for me.
Okay. And as you said, you yourself were actually drawn to music at the age of 4. Was there any coaching from your parents that went on with that, or you just was drawn to it all on your own?
I'd say a combination. Ever since I was little, my parents would play classical music in the house, and I always loved that. One of my favorite toys growing up were these little blocks, and depending on which side you'd turn them, they'd play different parts of Mozart, and so I always loved those blocks, even since I was a baby. But my parents actually are not musicians, and my dad jokes that he gave all of his musical talent to me, and that's why he doesn't have any anymore. So,
and I do have to add this. I had a conversation with your father, and he said, you know, it was great that Abigail picked up the harp and started practicing it, because he said there are no squeaks and squawks with the harp. It's all beautiful music right from the very beginning. I love that.
In fact, my mom cried at my first lesson when I played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So.
Oh, what a wonderful memory. What a wonderful memory. So now take us on your journey, your educational journey. You have been homeschooled for the last 11 years, or actually 12 if you count kindergarten. So take us on the journey from there to how you ended up here at Shattuck-St. Mary's.
Yeah. Well, I loved homeschooling. I loved the flexibility. I loved the independence. I loved how I could choose my own pace and go at that. And I think that it taught me a lot of characteristics that I wouldn't have gleaned as easily if I was going to a school. And that definitely played into my musical life too. And I now use those characteristics in my practice and as I'm here too. So I loved homeschooling. But then this past summer, I went to a harp camp at the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia. And when I was there, I was surrounded by these incredible world-class harpists. Some of them were from Korea, some were from China, from Russia, from all over the US too. And that made me realize that if I wanted to be like them, that something had to change. And I was so inspired by their passion and their dedication to music and how it was their whole life. And I just thought that something had to change. And when I came back from that camp, I was talking with my mom, and about 5 months before that, I was in a competition, and one of the other winners of the competition said that he went to Shattuck-St. Mary's. And my ears kind of perked up because I thought that it was just a school for hockey players. And
it does have a reputation for hockey.
It does, but there are so many other things. And now I'm in the pre-conservatory program, which means that I have about 3.5 hours of practice time in my school day, and I have an ear training class and a music theory class. And those things are invaluable. And also every Wednesday I go up to Orchestra Hall to have a 90-minute private lesson with Kathy Kienzle. And that has given me such a jump start on my music. And I love being surrounded by other musicians, just like in Philadelphia, other musicians who really, really love what they're doing. So that's where I'm at today.
So that's where you're at today. Now, what do you hope to do? You will graduate this year, and so what do you hope to be doing in the future?
Well, I never want to stop performing. And I think that the next thing for me, well, I know the next thing for me is to attend a music conservatory. And right now I have applied to 8 different schools, and the interesting thing about applying to music conservatories is that first you have to apply, and then you audition, and then you hear back from the school. So it's a long process, but right now I heard back from all the schools and I got auditions at all of them, which is really incredible. So I'm excited about that. And this February and March I'll be flying all over the country and in Canada a little bit too, and auditioning at all those schools.
Oh, amazing. And they will provide the harp for you, correct? Okay,
yes,
so
thankfully.
you don't have to buy an extra seat on the airplane to take your harp. That's great. The process of actually getting the audition, when you applied, did you have to send some type of a video or a tape of your playing?
No, thankfully not. For harp, since it's such a limited group of us, there aren't too many applicants, and so there's definitely pre-screening, but it's not a video or a recording. Also, I think that with the internet, it's really easy to just Google the person and a whole bunch of recordings of me pop up. So even if they were from when I was little, you know, hopefully the colleges aren't seeing those. But I had to submit resumes and repertoire lists, letters of recommendation, which it plays a huge part. Letters of recommendations are probably the biggest chunk of why colleges accept people or don't.
Okay. The biggest part of your dream, what would be the biggest part of your dream coming true?
Well, like I briefly mentioned, I love performing and anything being on a stage. And so I want to be on as many stages as possible and glorify God through that. So the biggest dream for me would to be continue performing.
Performing and being a solo performist with
I love
orchestras around the world.
Yeah, well, sure, why not?
Why not? Absolutely. Make it big, baby. Okay. Well, Abigail, thank you so much for your time. And we are going to go to one of your practice rooms. You said it was kind of an ugly place to do an interview, so that's why we're here in the auditorium here at Shattuck-St. Mary's. But let's go to your practice room, and please take us out with this segment with your very favorite harp piece.
Sounds good.
Abigail, we have relocated to your practice room. Please share with us what piece you're going to play for us.
I'm going to play a little bit of Handel's Concerto in B-flat major by Carlos Salcedo.
Okay, take it away.
Cedar Valley Services, located at the corner of Rose and Grove in Owatonna, provides an array of services for people with disabilities in Steele County. CVS thanks the entire community, especially our business customers, for supporting us in Owatonna for 43 years. Thank you from CVS.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. We hope you enjoyed that piece about Abigail Hansen. What a talented young lady, and we wish her well. The Steele County Historical Society will offer What is the Matter?, a presentation for the History in the Making series on Thursday, January 19th, 7 p.m. at the Steele County History Center. Andrew Cohn of AM Horizons will lead a discussion exploring the historical rationale for making the statement Black Lives Matter. Admission to the lecture is free for Steele County Historical Society members and $5 for non-members. Winter Weekend Out is coming January 27th through the 29th. Friday 1 to 4:30 p.m. there'll be sledding. Saturday 10 to 2 p.m. there'll be Fat Tire Bike Demonstration at Kaplan's. Saturday 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Adult Bocce Ball Tournament at Lake Colmeyer. Saturday 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Rock on the Ice at Morehouse. And Sunday, 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., family ice fishing at Lake Colmeyer. Lina Health will award grants to community nonprofits and local government organizations who submit ideas for bringing people together through healthy activities. The purpose of the Neighborhood Health Connection Grant is to support ongoing activities that promote social connections among the group of adults through healthy eating and physical activity. Online applications will be accepted January 2nd through the 5th. Or January 2nd through 5 p.m. on February 1st. Grantees will be notified of decisions via email on February 17th. If you have any questions, call Natalie Ginter at 507-977-2562. Well, that's all we have for you today, and we hope that you will join us on Monday when we'll be visiting with the Heritage Quilters Group, and then we'll be on, and then we'll also be visiting with about the annual Andrew Lawrence Chili Cook-Off. So you won't want to miss Monday's program. And until then, have a nice weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.